What dark secrets do the children of the atom hide behind the walls of their cult? And how is it related to Hisako? Well, let's hop into the pages of Ultimate X-Men issue number 7 and find out together, shall we? So then, as this issue opens up, we're actually treated to an entire sermon from the shadowy children of the atom cult. Their leader, at least of the church-facing arm of the organization, is a guy called the Maester. He goes on a whole big spiel about how the cult's children are their future and how one by one they will all wake up to their amazing abilities and truly become the Homo Superiors of legend. But how exactly do they plan to do any of that? Well, for that answer, we actually step back a little bit and see the other arm of the church, which looks like some sort of weird medical outreach center. We see Surge, another young woman who received power thanks to the cult, goes here often to get blood drawn. They ask her questions about how her abilities are progressing. And the whole thing has this deeply creepy, very uncomfortable Stepford Smiler quality about the whole thing that I find to be very unnerving. Surge clocks it pretty quick that Kageyama the Shadow King is also here right now, and even though they aren't exactly what you would call friends, she clearly doesn't like what the cult is doing with him. You'll remember at the end of the previous issue, Shadow King had gotten into a big battle against Armor and her friends and actually got hurt. As the Maester explains, the cult is sparing no expense in Kageyama's care because he truly is the feather in their cap. A young mutant who not only has amazing abilities, but one who can control them. In fact, it goes a little bit deeper. The cult is using Kageyama's blood to awaken the abilities in others. Only for whatever reason, those mutants don't seem to be nearly as strong and can only activate their abilities when their lives depend on it. It's for all those reasons and more, the cult has a particular new interest in recruiting Hisako and her friends. But oh, it goes even deeper too, as we see the Maester actually reports to a woman calling herself Viper, as in like Madam Hydra Viper, that one. This lady deals with all of the cult's problems and also reports directly to Emperor Sunfire, the de facto leader of Japan in this brand new Ultimate Universe, a member of the Maker's own secret cabal, and yeah, a mutant himself. How about that? Now this is a lot of stuff to take in, but believe it or not, it doesn't stop there either. You see, the Maester and Viper assumed that Kageyama was too drugged up to know what they were talking about, but wouldn't you know it, as soon as they mention Hisako's name, he starts freaking out, meaning that Viper has to use her mastery of pharmaceuticals to try and put him back to sleep. Now speaking of Hisako, where is she right now? Well, her and May are getting ready for the big Autumn Harvest Festival. It's on their way out of school though. They end up bumping into a new character. This girl is brash, hard-headed, has a little bit of an attitude, and wouldn't you know it is also a master at kendo. What's her name? Kanon. You know, like Quanon. Yeah, that's right everyone, it's the new ultimate version of Psylocke. How about that? This new version of the character wins me over right away, not just because of her hard-edged attitude, but also the fact that she apparently runs around town in one of those Japanese biker suits, and regularly getting into fights with other kids using her amazing kendo skill. She also has a brother named Tetsuo who just so happens to be a local cop. Tetsuo wants nothing more than his sister to behave herself and maybe find some friends her own age so she'll stop bugging him. In fact, it's while bugging her brother, the future Psylocke ends up catching word about a mysterious beat-up suitcase that's floating down the river nearby. Tetsuo goes to investigate, and of course his sister rushes off after him, just wanting something interesting to happen to her for once, and oh boy are they both shocked when they end up discovering a rotting corpse. But not just any corpse, this body also just so happens to have a serial number and an X carved in it as well. And if you're like me and thinking to yourself that the children of the atom simply have to be involved in this, well, you would certainly be correct, because the next day Tetsuo gets woken up at home by Viper, who threatens him into signing a non-disclosure agreement. Otherwise, her and her organization vow to make his life, and by extension the life of his sister, a living hell. Yeah, Kanon is not going to like this at all, and you just know she's not gonna let it go either. Now back over with Hisako, her and her friends meet up at the festival. It's a happy day and most of them are wearing their traditional garb, but not Hisako. In fact, she says the last time she wore a yukata, she was with Tsubasa, so the whole thing carries with it some rather sad memories. But no time for that, because it's at that very moment the sky begins to twist and change, and instead of seeing a beautiful full moon for this harvest festival, they end up seeing a dark twisted eye like something conjured by the Shadow King. And believe it or not, it's on that note right there the comic comes to a close, everybody, and so that was Ultimate X-Men issue number 7, and as we kick off this brand new story arc, Peach Momoko comes at us fast and furious with plenty of new lore to chew on as it relates to the bigger world. Yes, the children of the Atom are something of a mutant-making factory. No, not all mutants are made equal, and it seems that Emperor Sunfire and the Japanese government actually have a hand in their creation. The cult is also not afraid to murder and intimidate when it suits their purposes, and you have to wonder, is this actually related to Tsubasa's death as well? We also have a brand new character in Psylocke who actually fits the overall tone and aesthetic of the book pretty much perfectly, and you just know she's gonna make a great addition to the team. I believe in anime and manga terms you would call her the tsundere, a character who's rough around the edges at first, but overall reveals a warmer, friendlier side to themselves. And I mean, who doesn't love one of those? Overall, I would give this one another very positive 8 out of 10. Man, as X-Men fans, we are eating so well right now in two completely different universes. Also, geez, I never thought I would be reviewing so many X-Men books in 2024. Seriously, it's like my whole channel became an X-Men channel so gradually I barely even noticed it until right now.
Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quests. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.